Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 26th through May 2nd. I almost said August for some reason. Got summer on the mind. April 26th through May 2nd. During that time, we mostly have a waxing gibbous moon throughout the entire week. And what that is, it's just really good energy to be working on those things that we started in the beginning of the new cycle. It also is a good time for us to show that we can be flexible and make adjustments. So those things that aren't quite working out, we'll just kind of adjust and keep moving straight ahead. So we also have the full moon energy that comes in on May 2nd, although you might feel that a day before or even a day after. That energy that's can sometimes stick around longer. But of course, the full moon is heightened emotions. You might be prone to being a little snappy and irritable. You might have changes in your sleep patterns, or you might just be full of energy, which is what I am when the full moon comes around. It's the time for me to get things done. So keep those moon energies in mind, of course, as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Pisces. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is a fiery climax approaches. Okay, if I remember right, you guys have kind of been in it the last couple of weeks. So, let's see what the cards are saying for you this week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you is that you take the time this week to do a deep dive on something and learn something new. So, I feel like I'm learning something new every day, but as far as doing like a really big deep dive on something, I do have to set that time aside and kind of schedule it and say, I'm going to take a couple of hours here. I'm going to read this book about this thing or do some research on it and really delve into something so I can learn and understand a thing. So, that is my fun weekly reminder for you, only because we forget sometimes as adults to do that. Unless you're just just a person who does that a lot. Sometimes life gets a little busy and we forget, oh, I could be learning things. So keep that in mind. And that is my fun weekly reminder. All right, Pisces, let's get into this reading and I'll stop babbling. I swear. April 26th through May 2nd, a fiery climax approaches. And your overall energy in this card seems to want to make an appearance. King of Wands. So, fiery climax, and we've got the King of Fire here, the King of Wands, which is about, really the knowledge of something that you're very, very passionate about. So, this is whatever is lighting a fire under you right now. It's just sitting in that energy of like, I know all about this thing. You've done the research, you've read the books, you've done the whatever it is that you're very passionate about. And you're just kind of sitting in this kind of knowing energy about this particular passion. Your current situation right now is the Magician. So this could mean that the magician's asking you, what do you want to manifest at this time? Is it something related to this passion? And which element would you like to add to it? And when talking about elements, because we're talking about the element of fire here, you could choose the wand, which is adding fire to fire. Do you choose emotions, which think about, the water in the cup? Does that dampen fire? What does a sword do to fire? You can heat up a sword and do lots of things with it, make things with it, melt things, right? So think about the element that you would like to add maybe to this passion. Maybe you want to make money with this passion. So think about that. And that's the Magician just kind of asking, you've got this passion and you've got this knowledge of it. Now, what do you want to do with it? At the root of your situation this week is the Page of Swords. So this is kind of a new path in communication or in a way of thinking. So there might be something, again, I know that your fiery week last week might have brought you to a new way of thinking about something. So just keep that in mind, whatever's going on within your past. But this is about a new way of communicating or new way of thinking. Of course, it's that air energy about thoughts and words that are moving through the air. In your recent past here, feeling pretty stable here with the Four of Pentacles. So, if we're manifesting something and if we're, if maybe we've moved on and we're just on to a different topic now, which I hope for you, because again, it was a little much last week. So, you're really thinking about the things that you're passionate about. What do you want to add to it? You're communicating about it, and you're able to do that because you've got some stability in your life right now. Things are very stable, and you're able to maybe focus on something that you're very passionate about, as an aside or something that it's just something you love to do, right? That fire is it's something. It's the reason you get up in the morning. You might have things that you have to do, but this is that thing that you really want to do. What is on your mind this week is the Ten of Pentacles. So you're thinking about this passion. And again, maybe it is the pentacle that you choose because you're thinking about, what does this mean for me long term? Can I turn this into something for long term? This is our card of long term wealth and security. Is this something that you can, turn into something long term that's kind of on your mind, and you're kind of weaving that into your long term story? So think about that too. And what is that for you? What is it that you're so passionate about that you feel like you could turn it into that, right? And you're probably making decisions based on the long-term wealth and security, and not just wealth, not just material wealth, but things that you are doing for your family that are about, tradition, and things that are about developing, like even with your kids, like their morals, and what, and finding out what their fire is, and helping direct that for them. What is just ahead of you this week is the high priestess. So there's a point at this week where you're definitely feeling your intuition. You're feeling kind of guided in that manner. There might be dreams that you're having this week that are going to guide you in some way. And maybe it is about this manifestation, this, what is it that you want to bring into your life now? And you might have dreams. If you're kind of, confused about that, a dream might pop up and it just shows you this very clear vision of something. And you're like, oh, I've never thought about it that way. So pay attention to the signs from the universe about, that might come through your dreams, or might be out there in the way of numbers, of course, all those different ways that the universe communicates with us, different synchronicities and things. So just pay attention to those signs this week. In your advice position this week is the 10 of Swords. So there's definitely something that you are done with. There's something that you're finishing up and wrapping up, and hopefully, again, maybe it is that stuff from last week that you're just wrapping it up and you're done, and that's good. It's anytime that you have a 10 or that death card, it means that you've wrapped something up and it just opens up room for something else to flood in there. So whatever that is, hopefully that is some of that negativity from last week, where I do feel like you were feeling like you were being stabbed in the back. Hopefully that's just done and over with, and now what opens up, what space does that leave for you to do something different in that space, right? What is beyond your control this week is the Sun card. Much happier this week. I love this for you. Like I said, I know that intensity. So yeah, it's just beyond your control to just feel better this week. You're just gonna just feel lighter, feel happy. You're gonna have the sun coming in. The sun is just about feeling like you're nurturing or you're being nurtured. Just it's the brilliance of being light and a little more airy, just not as dark, and just being happy this week. So that's good. I think happiness is a choice. So definitely choose that for yourself this week. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? It looks like some little recognition from, for a job well done on something. So this could be, something in your work related or family related where, is it your secret desire for someone to kind of point out, hey, good job working that out, doing this thing, doing a job well done? Or are you trying to avoid having any recognition at all? You might be like, I did that, but it's really not a big deal. Let's not go too crazy about it. So ask yourself that if that kind of recognition comes your way this week, is it something that you want to be recognized for, or are you just completely trying to avoid it? Either answer is fine, Pisces, but make sure that you understand the why behind your choice when it comes to that. In your outcome position is the Fool card. So there you go, off on a new journey, which, if it is some fiery climax, it's approaching or happened, maybe it's done and over with. It looks like you're setting off by the end of the week onto a new journey. I feel like you're letting go of some things, but this new journey is definitely something that's kind of passion related, something that you, like I said, that you feel it. It's something that you want to do when you wake up in the morning. It's not the thing that you have to do. So figure out what that is for you. Is there a way for you to choose another element with it? Can you make some more money doing this? Is it a longer term security thing for you and your family? So ask yourself those questions. All right, let's get to a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Pisces as they are going through. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. You do have 2 10s on the table, so maybe look up angel number 1010 this week. See if that means anything to you and what's going on with your life this week. All right, Soul Oracle deck for you says, seek hidden treasure. Okay. So what is that hidden treasure? And that could just be the thing that's inside you. That is some hidden treasure. Maybe there's some talent you have or something that you just haven't been putting to use. And maybe it's the universe kind of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, That talent is where your passion is. It's where you're going to make your money. It's where your long-term wealth and happiness and just general happiness are going to come from. So maybe you need to, and again, this could be just be like a career thing. Maybe there's something that you've let slide, or that you're talented at, that you're not doing as much of, and maybe you want to kick that up a little bit, a notch, and especially if it's something that you love to do. So what do they say, that the best job is one that you love doing, right? Getting up and being happy about doing it every day. So I know there's some saying, I can't remember it right now, but you know what I mean. All right, what do you need to do in the way of self-care this week, Pisces? Self-care for you is the card called Feelings. And this card says, healing begins with feeling. Be gentle with yourself and tender with your heart. So if you do need to heal something, just be very gentle with yourself, and maybe, again, maybe that's where this passion thing comes in. If you're getting over something, just take care of yourself and maybe nurture those passions and things, because those are the things that, we wish we spent more time. I'm sure on our deathbed, we look back and we think, oh, I wish I would have spent more time doing this one thing that I really, really love to do, and really focusing more on that, other than all the other stupid things that I took place in doing, right? So, anyway, Pisces, good luck with all of this. I hope there's something here in this reading that takes you off into this new journey, and affects you in some positive way in your life. Of course, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know if anything here resonated, or if you had questions. I'd be happy to answer those for you. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is so valuable to me. If you do that, I thank you so much. If you've already done it, thank you again. And it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see maybe where this journey goes and where the next part of your story goes. So thanks so much, Pisces. Good luck to you, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.